Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things I've learned as I've grown up to the person I am today. I wanted to talk about the fact that I didn't make a video yesterday and kind of explain to you why. And that is going to be the learning experience for me today, as well as I hope maybe I can pass it on to you. One of the things I really hate when I watch YouTubers is, let's say if you watch a YouTuber and you really like them, right? And they haven't been on for like a month or 6 months and they come back and they go, I'm so sorry I haven't made a video in a month, or I'm so sorry I've been gone, and they apologize like profusely, right, for not making videos. And I'm not gonna do that because I yesterday really just needed to take a day off and enjoy it with my husband and lay around and watch TV shows, and we got pizza and I took a nap, and it was just a really fantastic day. I got a haircut yesterday, which, should I show you? My hair is such a mess today, but it's shorter. So anyway, but you know, I woke up yesterday and here's the thing, okay, that's really hard about this. And what we're going to talk about today is taking time for yourself and taking care of yourself and learning to relax. It's not something that I do very well, honestly. And for me, it's really, really hard because A, I love to write. B, I love to make YouTube videos. And C, I love interacting with you guys. I cannot get this hat straight. And so those are like my three biggest passions in the world, right? And I'm so driven on a daily basis that I just get up, and as soon as I get up, I start thinking about, okay, what videos do I want to make today, and what do I want to talk about in my videos today, and when am I going to write, and I get an idea for another book, and I start outlining the book, and I'm so driven. So I get up, and then before I know it, it's 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, my whole day has gone, right? And yesterday, that's kind of like I woke up, and I had to go get my hair cut in the early afternoon, and I did some stuff before that, and I was like, I'm just going to take today to relax. Now, let me tell you why this is important for me. I don't relax well. I don't sit in a chair and watch TV well. I'm always having to do something else, whether it's be on my phone, answering social media, or planning my next project, or outlining a book, or thinking in my head about, I have a really, really hard time just being present. In fact, my best friend Tanya, she says to me on a regular basis, like, we're just gonna go do this, and you're gonna let me drive, and you're just gonna learn to be, still and relax for a moment. Because if you've watched me long enough, you know I have a very active mind. Therefore, it's important for me to take care of myself and to, and this is not the part where I want you to comment below and say, oh, take whatever days you want. No, I appreciate that, right? But it's not because I feel like I owe it to anybody that I do this stuff. It's because I love doing it that I do it, right? And how blessed that I live in a world where everything that I do, I absolutely love 100%. That's pretty much a dream world, right? But that doesn't mean that I don't, need to relax and take care of myself. One of the overriding messages I get from people is that, when they're going through something tragic in their lives, like they'll say, I just talked about this the other day. They'll say, I'm very concerned about, my family member and, whatever, but I'm going through this as well. Or, I'm very concerned about this. And one of the things I always say to people is, or I try to always say to people, you have to take care of yourself before you can be helpful to somebody else. You have to make sure that you're doing okay and check yourself before you can be helpful to somebody else, right? Therefore, if I'm getting on video every day and I'm just pumping out videos because I feel so driven to do that, and if I'm just writing because I'm like manically writing and planning the next project and whatever, what's the quality of the work that I'm putting out? What's the quality of the message that I'm putting out there into the world, right? So every once in a while, I need to take a day or take a week or whatever and just settle my ass down and learn to be still and watch Project Runway and RuPaul's Drag Race and the Gianni Versace AMC story and all that kind of stuff, and just eat pizza and just be, And that's really, really hard for me. Take that on a daily basis, then amp that up to when something tragic in our lives happened, like my aunt passing away last January. And I almost go into kind of hyper mode of taking care of others. It's not something that I did very well when I was younger. I was very selfish as an addict and alcoholic, as most addicts and alcoholics are. So when something horrible happened, it was always about me. And if you have an alcoholic or an addict in your life and you've ever gone through a funeral with them, you'll know that to be true. When an alcoholic or an addict who's actively in their addiction has somebody pass away, it all of a sudden becomes about them. Oh my God, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, you're not the only one that's affected by this. So that was very much who I was back in the day. And so because I've grown out of that and I've grown up and become a person of character today, when somebody is sick or when somebody passes away, I work hard to be, you know, that person that I would want there if I was there, if that makes sense, like suit up and show up. And typically in very like drastic situations like that, I kind of just show up and I'm like, what do you need from me? What do you need me to do? I'm here for you, right? And, you know, it was really cool because when I went through it with my mom, my cousin Caroline was right by my side. And then, you know, our moms were only sisters and we're only cousins because we're only children. Only. So when her mom passed away, I was able to be there for her. And I'll never forget. I should title this video that. I'll never forget, she was like, Caroline's not somebody that always feels her emotions. And we were standing in line at the funeral home, and she and I were standing side by side, and she was kind of like, can you please stand here with me? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And it was overwhelming. I mean, she looked out in the hall, and there was probably 200 people out in the hall, and she looked at me and she goes, I can't do this anymore. And she just left. And I was like, okay. You know, people were like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Kathy's nephew. I've been around, you know, but that's okay. You know, like that's who I am. But then I also have to learn to take care of myself, and I have to drive around and listen to some music that reminds me of my Aunt Kathy and allow myself to cry and allow myself to feel my own grief, you know, so that I can be there for other people. Because if I don't take care of myself, I'm not any good for somebody else. And that's the lesson I think that we need to learn in the world is be driven, be motivated, be so driven. I mean, some of the most successful people I know, I don't know any successful lazy people. Let's just be for real, right? Almost every single person I know that is successful, whether it's my best friend owning a very successful dog kennel, you know, to a YouTuber that is pumping out, you know, material constantly and scripting it and all this kind of stuff like Shane Dawson. Every person that I know that is super successful in this world, right, is very driven and very motivated to work hard. And I think that's something that successful people have. I think that you have to put action to your belief systems. And if you want something bad enough, you have to work hard for it, right? And typically those people are not very good at vacations and sitting still and just watching a movie because they're constantly thinking of the next thing. Tanya, my friend, is somebody that is very, very good at that. She can really balance the need to just kind of clock out and take care of herself. You know, she just got back from a vacation and she was telling me about, she drove into Sedona in Arizona and she just started wailing immediately. And she's somebody that can very much appreciate the beauty of the world and put her business on the back burner. And I think for all of us, whether that business is professional or personal, we need to learn to kind of back burner that and take care of ourselves at times, allow ourselves to feel emotions, take care of ourselves, read books, watch movies, watch TV shows, go out to dinner with our loved ones, and really be true to who we are inside, take care of our souls, take care of our beings about that, so that we can continue to be helpful to other people and continue to strive and be successful in this world and have the best world possible. And isn't that what we all want at the end of the day? I think it is, you know? So for that to be possible, I have to relax my mind and body, and I'll never apologize for that, right? But that being said, I'll continue to pump out 4 videos a day probably for the next year. So I had a great day yesterday. You know, it was really, really nice, and I knew that nobody would care if I took a day off. That's what's so funny. I mean, you know, it's like I feel so blessed to do this where people are like, if I came on here and said, I'm so sorry, God, my nose has been running all day. If I came on here and I said, I'm so sorry, I need to take a day, like all those other YouTubers do, everybody in the comment section would be like, take as much time as you need. I mean, you guys are so wonderful. You're so awesome. And you know, then last night I drove around and I did my vlog and I talked about all of my like college experiences because somebody had asked about that, and I had a really good time doing that vlog because I had relaxed all day and I had let my mind kind of settle. So see, it is important to do those things. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.